Well, I've been getting ready to barbecue this muffler so we can burn out the carbon, assuming it's full of carbon. But I thought before we did that, I should probably remove this tube that I think that comes from the oil pump. So the nut came out very easily, but the tube is stuck in there pretty solid. Well, this oil tube coming out of into the exhaust has been a little challenging getting out. Wiggling it back and forth slowly, using heat, using penetrating oil, using candle wax. As you can see, I'm getting a little movement, and then also I'm using this nut and vice grip as kind of my I guess slide hammer. I've been hitting that underneath here with a hammer, and now you can see this flare or ferrule, whatever you want to call it, is now exposed. So that was all the way down to the bottom. So I managed to get the tube out and had the presence of mind not to try to use the pliers on this tube much. Rather, I used this nut as kind of my point for prying and wrenching on, and so I got it off, and the end looked plugged up. So just kind of tapping it off, we got this bunch of carbon out of there, and it still looked like it was plugged up, but I felt a little piece of wire on the end here. So you can see that after I cleaned it up, it's actually closed and intended to be that way. So I'm not sure what that little piece of wire is meant to do, but that's integral to the tube. I expected a straight pass-through on the tube, and or hollow tube, I guess I'd call it. And so you see kind of the bung, if you will, and I just dug out, well, almost it seemed like a kind of a plumber's putty or pipe sealer down in there, but that could be just 35 years, almost 40 years of just dirt and crud in there. So I think we're at the point now where it's time to go see if the fire is ready and throw this thing on the barbecue and cook it out. Well, welcome to winter in Minnesota. We got a nice little campfire going here. Got the shop vacuum out, got that all rigged up with a piece of pipe. Got a muffler from our 1981 G1-A2 Yamaha golf cart, and from what I've read online, we need to cook that out and burn the carbon out of it. Well, this muffler's been cooking for a solid hour or better. It's probably about as hot as I'm gonna get it, and so let's go ahead and throw some air through there. I've got a pipe hooked up to my shop vac, and we'll see what happens. Hang on just a second. I've had this on a couple times before, but basically we just got, as near as I can tell, clean air blowing through here. Oh, the wind shifted on me just now. So basically the exhaust is more or less fanning the fire, and I mean, it sounds good. There's no smoke coming out of it, but we'll leave that run for a while. Okay, so I've got it rolled over, so the inlet, the curved pipe that's on the top of the muffler is now buried in embers. So we'll let that cook for a while and throw some air in there in a little bit. Well, the fire's about burned down all the way, so it's been sitting in here for several hours, I guess, probably while I've been inside wrenching on the engine in the golf cart. So let's go ahead and flip on the air and see what happens. So right now, most of that is coming out of that port or bung where the little tube that I removed, where the hose to the oiler, I think it was, attaches. But otherwise, we're really not shooting anything out of there. We'll let it, we'll go ahead and, let me flip it over. So there's that little bung, that little, so that's where the oil tube was. Or the hose from the oiler, I believe, is what came up to that. And so let's fire it up one more time. Now we'll probably get a whole crap load of ashes because the exhaust is buried down in the ash or in the bottom. So, not really sure just how dirty it was, what was inside it, but after it cools down, we'll tap it around a little bit and see if there's any loose chunks. But we're done baking or barbecuing the muffler on a 1981 Yamaha G1-A2 golf cart. So another fabulous wintry day, yet in October here in Minnesota.